Okay, so I guess you could find the good news that they got. And the good news is that Dr. Brown didn't see any cavities. Praise the Lord, and pass the ammunition. They didn't get any cavities. Okay? And he tells them, make sure you throw away your old toothbrush because I'm giving you a new one. And he tells them, as I'm telling you, brush your teeth after each meal and don't eat things that are bad for your teeth. Now, if you're going to have candy, or if you're going to have a sugary drink, you should brush your teeth afterwards. Okay, or at least if you can't, maybe you could rinse your mouth out in the bathroom if you're at school. And it's a good idea not to keep that sugar in your mouth. Okay, let's turn to the next page. And this is something else that the dentist talks about. Okay, and what we're going to do is find out what are good foods for beaver teeth. Now, not for our teeth, but for beaver teeth. And we're going to be looking at the list of foods and what else does Mr. Brown tell the children what they could do when he finishes looking at their teeth. What does he tell them to do? And, well, you read it and you find out. Something that we do also every once in a while. So let's start reading. What things are best for beaver teeth? Asked Betsy. Pause. All right. Now we see that Dr. Brown says that apples, do we eat apples? We certainly do. They're excellent for our teeth. They clean our teeth and they're very healthy. And what else? Leaves. Do we eat leaves? I don't think so. I don't think we eat leaves. What about bark? You know, bark is basically the skin of the tree. We can eat the skin of the apple. We can eat the skin of a pear. But can we eat bark? I don't think so. But can a beaver? Sure. Okay, and last, what else helps beavers' teeth? Fish. Well, we eat fish, but they eat fish a little bit differently. We usually cook our fish, we take the bones out, we have so many different kinds of fish. We might not eat a whole fish from the mouth to the tail like the beaver does because they can swallow a whole fish. Can we? No. All right, now he tells them to go back to where Miss Birdie sits and that there is a basket. And she gives them a basket. What's in the basket? Something that we usually have on Friday or whenever you're acting well behaved. I let you go into what? Yes, the treasure box. And he has a treasure box for his patients. And Miss Birdie lets them look at it and choose an item. Let's see what they choose. Okay, so let's turn to the next page, 69, and we find out what each one gets from the basket. And also, look at the picture of a Dozer as he's sitting there. How does he look? Look at his face. He looks so scared. He even has his shell covering his mouth. He is terrified until he hears the good news. So would you try to read this? Remember, you're going to have the word voice, and you're going to have the word drawled again. And you might have a little trouble with the word exclaimed. So please read that page to yourself, and let's find out what the two children chose from the basket, and what is happening to poor Dozer, the turtle. Pause. Okay. All right, we see that Benny went into the basket and he got a little sailboat. And what does Betsy choose, which most of you girls will choose? A ring. This happened to be what kind of a ring? A butterfly ring. And poor Dozer, he has a muffled voice. A muffled voice meaning that he's got his mouth covered up because he is afraid. And what does he say? He says, "Did it hurt?" And he drawled when he said that. "No," Benny exclaimed. "It was fun." How do you think Dozer felt when he heard that? Is he afraid now to go in to see Dr. Brown? Nah. He is self-assured that nothing is going to hurt him. And that's the end of our story. Now I'd like to go over the questions from the last taping that we did, which was the first part. And that was workbook page 100. Okay, if you have your workbook page in front of you, let's go over the answers. Pause. Give them a minute to get there. All right, the first question is, who greeted Benny and Betsy when they got to the dentist? All right, the first person, you're supposed to color the tooth beside each correct answer. It was Miss Birdie. She is what we call a receptionist. She makes the appointments for the dentist or the doctor. Number 2, who was taking Benny and Betsy to the dentist? Why, their mother, Mrs. Beaver. Who was reading in the lobby? It was Dozer. Who is going to sit in the big blue seat first? Benny. Who was going to clean Benny and Betsy's teeth? Dr. Brown. Now it tells you here, read the question, use crayons to color the answer on the picture. Color the rest of the picture. And what you have to do is, why was Benny surprised after he crunched up the little red tablet? So what you should be doing is putting some red spots on Benny's teeth, and then you are to explain the red spots mean that he didn't do a very good job brushing his teeth. That's what you should have written. Okay, now after today's reading, what I would like you to do is to do the next page, which is 101. And this is something that you have to do. This is a cut and paste activity, which will kind of help you out a little bit so that you can do something else besides. You have a strip on the bottom. Now just cut off on that dotted line those different people. And then you are to paste them according to what they said. The first one says, what things are best for beaver teeth? Who said that? Who said you may get one thing from this basket? It is full of fun things. Who said keep brushing after each meal and eat things that are best for beaver teeth? Who said did it hurt? And who said it was fun? You have all the characters here on the bottom. Cut the squares out and put their picture next to what they said. If you're not sure, just go back and look at the sentence, and that will tell you who said it. So that's a cut and paste activity, something a little different that will keep you occupied. Okay, now let's put our reading away.